Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Shakina and I am a representative from Go50. I would like to present about sanitation for the production of kuih seribu. First, introduction for factory information. Rahmat Food Supplier is located in between two factories, which are the food processing factory and the supplier for textile printing factory. So the Rahmat Food Supplier factory is potentially low to get any food contamination. For example, food factories should not be built near logging factories where there will be dust from the wood and will be contaminating the air surrounding other factories. Next is introduction for employee and staff. Typhoid vaccine are vaccines that prevent typhoid fever. This is a mandatory requirement for food workers for safety reasons. The purpose of taking the injection is for preventing food handler from contacting typhoid and preventing transmission to the public through foods and beverage. Next is the processing of kuih serimuka. The first step is glutinous rice was soaked for at least 30 minutes as shown in figure 1.1. Wheat flour, tapioca flour, corn wheat flour, salt, granulated sugar, coconut milk, cream and pandan flavors was mixed in commercial machine as shown in figure 1.2. Next is glutinous rice was made with the coconut milk, water and salt as shown in figure 1.3. Next is glutinous rice was steamed over high heat for 45 minutes until the rice is soft and fluffy as shown in figure 1.4. Next, the rice was prepared and cooked for bottom layer as shown in figure 1.5. Then, the custard was gently poured to avoid any air bubble for 20 until 25 minutes as shown in figure 1.6. 500 ml was added for the second layer and steamed for about 10 to 15 minutes as shown in figure 1.7. And lastly, serimuka is done when a toothpick was inserted into a needle and it come out clean as shown in figure 1.8. Next is material handling, objective and function. First is to reduce the cost of the product to 1/2. Second, can increase in capacity by better utilization of space. Third is to choose the most appropriate material handling equipment that is safe and can meet the requirements for material handling at the minimum possible overall cost and to choose the production machinery and assist in the layout of the plant in order to eliminate the need for material handling as far as possible. So this is the example of the material handling for storage and industrial material handling truck. It is increased the risk of damage when human workers are compelled to lift and transport goods by hand. For example, a worker can drop the object, damaging or losing it. The solution is such as forklift, heavy lifting device, and magnets for material handling can protect goods from such damage. Next is the advantages of correct material handling. First is protect goods from damage. Second is material handling technologies facilitate a greater degree of efficiency in the workplace. Third is to protect products from injury. And fourth is improve worker satisfaction.
HACCP for Quick Serimuka Processing Flow. HACCP stands for Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Point. It is involved in identify, evaluate and control the hazard in physical, chemical and biological that related to the food safety in food supply flow. HACCP system can prevent many foodborne diseases and safeguarding the consumer health at the same time. We can see that HACCP can be applied by using 7 principles, and this is the list of the principles. So, for the principle number 2, which is determine the critical control point (CCP), we have 6 of them. Starting with the during food production of the kuih serimuka that need to be handled very gently and carefully. Second, finished product of kuih serimuka also need to be handled properly until the packaging. Then, for the storage, we have warehouse good processing, and all of the raw ingredients also will be put on the table to make sure all of them stay hygienic. We also have a packaging room, which is separate room for the packaging process of the finished product. For cleanliness, the toilet must make sure always clean and isolated. Sink also must be provided outside the toilet. For workers, they need to wear closed rubber shoes and full PPE should be provided. For safety, fire extinguisher should be prepared in the factory and factory also need to have factory plan. So for this, we can see inside the lorry before and after the arrangement. Of the flooring system and the drain location is important due to the easily to wash. For equipment, it should use stainless steel surface with high grade. Then the pressure of water used for cleaning process also need to be high pressure water. Don't use wooden door since it is very not suitable for the food factory. And for concrete walls, have to take care and paint with the protective coating to prevent deterioration to the walls. Here is the impact of applying HACCP, and one of them is it is need to be applied from earlier of collecting the raw materials until the processing and until the transportation of the finished product by monitoring their critical control points. Here is the pest control which we have to manage well in the factory. This is pest control based on their types such as insects, cockroaches, ants, flies and rats. Lastly, we have IPM program which we can improve the pest control.
For the next one is waste disposal. Waste is a substance or material that have become worthless and not used anymore. Waste may come in many conditions such as solid, gas, and liquid waste. Waste also can be organic and harmful substance. Waste management may come from first physically, which is from foreign object and pests. Second, chemically, which is from food additive and pesticide. And lastly, biologically, which is food contaminated with infectious bacteria such as Salmonella. There are 4 ways in our factory. The first one is food, the discarded pastry mocha, where it did not reach the standard to sell. The second one is material, which is the spoiled or spilled ingredient, such as sugar, flour, and salt. And the third one is packaging, for example, plastic bag, cardboard, box, and bottle. And lastly, water, processing water. After steam the pastry mocha, waste after cleaning the sticky rice, and lastly waste from cleaning and sanitizing the factory. There are 2 methods of disposal. The first one is solid waste. We put in the dumpster and then decomposing and producing biogas. We use the concept 3R, which is reduce, reuse, and recycle, incineration, and lastly pyrolysis. For the liquid waste, wastewater treatment group into 3, which is high concentration, medium concentration, and low concentration. Every group have different method to treat. As a conclusions, the material handling of pastry mocha is supporting many other processes, mainly material handling, that to speed up the movement of equipment, assist with mechanical aids, and eliminate manual labor. Next, HACCP supports and monitors possible hazard in the processing of pastry mocha. Then pest control is to remove any kind of pests from the environment of pastry mocha factory. And lastly, waste disposal is to protect the environment and health of the population at the same time, such as preventing from air and water pollution. That's all from Group 15. Thank you.